Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, laughter is hilarious, isn't it? We're going to be doing some laughing, by the way. It's part of the service. And one correction in the little thing that you get here when you walk in is that we will not be singing We Shall Be Known. It's a wonderful song. But due to very dark spiritual forces, we have been forced to drop it from our service today. So, you know, folks, you may or may not know this or not, but my name is Charlie Destries. And I have a hairstylist that I use once a month, which is very, very expensive, and I've decided to stop using her. So that has nothing to do with this service, but I figured I'd keep talking, and that way it'll be over soon. We are so glad, by the way, really, that each of you is here today. If you're a newcomer, I know there are some, we hope you'll keep coming back and make this your spiritual home. It truly is a wonderful place. For those who have already made UU Amherst your home, we hope you'll continue to challenge yourself to grow and discover opportunities to learn and serve. And let me tell you, there are a lot of opportunities to learn and serve. They're all around us, and some incredible people are doing that. Our minister, Reverend Michelle, is off for a few weeks, and she'll return to the pulpit later this month. But in the meantime, I'm taking over. She doesn't know that. For those gathered in the chapel, I urge you to either place your phone on airplane mode or turn it off completely to free up web bandwidth. For the live stream, there are people online watching this, and they're as much a part of this community as we all are, and so we want to make sure there's no glitches in that area, so please do so if you could. Put it on airplane mode or shut it off. Now, if you don't do this, I am threatening to sing this entire service.
No.
You know, when you're married to someone for 50 years, you just... Anyway, so again, my name's Charlie, and I've been a relative newcomer here. I've only been here for about 2.5 years. And before this, really, I was somebody who didn't go to church, except for when I was a kid. I'm one of those Catholic refugees. And all respect. So it's been this amazing thing. I remember my friend Julie and I walked in to do a business call, believe it or not, on Reverend Michelle, and she said, hey, come to the service, we'll talk afterwards. We've never talked about that business that we were going to talk to her about. We've been coming ever since. So it's been a real experience. It's really changed my life in such a positive way, you know, more because I was in a silo, like a lot of people were. And this presented some real opportunities, and we'll talk about this during the service in some pretty deep ways. And when you don't have this, you know, look, whether it's our church or the church you go to or a group of people, you are truly alone, and you're in an echo chamber. And so this gives you the opportunity to kind of mix it up with other brains. It's a really, really important thing. You know, Michelle, by the way, has put together these services, and we use this as kind of a template, and I kind of say things off the piece of paper sometimes, so pardon me if that happens. But everything about our time together has been really crafted to create a cohesive experience. So let yourself relax. Take a deep breath. You know, I know some of you are stressed. Yeah, just deep breath. I mean, it's really nice to do that, especially when everyone around you is, so you don't look weird, you know? So be fully present and watch what unfolds around you. Listen as well as you can, and remember that you really are among friends. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, you are all welcome here. So, I once tried to use these when I was, I should turn it on, I guess. You know, when you're a trainee, these things present challenges. So yeah, that's actually my brain. Yeah, my naked brain, open to the public. Yours is, by the way, really similar. I don't know if you've ever seen your brain, if you've ever had an MRI or anything like that, but we look very similar. So your brain is kind of like my brain. But when you look at that level, you're looking inside something that's pretty unique, even though we all pretty much look the same inside that skull. So every thought, memory, mistake, it's a big part of my brain. Happiness, failures, embarrassing moments, oh boy, let me tell you. And all of the things that have happened in our past is right there. It's right there, everything. And everything that's going to happen, including me saying hello to you and you meeting people, all of it is in here. It's experience, it's the smell of the place, it's what you see, it's the light, it's the temperature. Everything's recorded. Isn't that something? I mean, we worry about artificial intelligence. Trust me, it's far away from being artificial superintelligence, even though the doomsayers say that it's close. We are the real superintelligence. That would be RSI. There we go. So everything you've ever experienced and thought is in there. You know, a long time ago, there was a man by the name of Napoleon Hill who wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. Has anybody ever heard of Think and Grow Rich? A few people? Okay, awesome. So, I mean, it's old wisdom. Think and Grow Rich was published around 1950, 1952, in that realm, and it's really old wisdom. But it's maybe even more valid today. In fact, what Brianna is going to be talking about today is directly connected to a lot of the thoughts in that book. But he said something pretty profound. He said, "You are what you think about. You are what you think about." It comes down to that thing we all heard. If you believe you're not very good at something, you're right. But if you believe you're pretty good at something, you really believe it, yeah, you're right about that too. So it's this brain thing that controls it all. You know, Napoleon Hill's message says that controlling our self-talk. Whoever talks to themselves, anybody here ever talk to themselves? Anybody here ever like sitting there after something doesn't go right and it's like, oh, you're such an idiot. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe that happened. Yeah, I shouldn't be trying. I shouldn't. Right? I mean, I think most of us have done that. Is that self-talk? You know? You're supposed to disagree or agree. I mean, you can't just sit there. Because otherwise I have no idea what you're thinking, and that doesn't become very useful for me. So, yes, thank you. Thank you. This is a come back and forth community, so get used to it. All right. So, if you believe the idea, like you really do become what you think about, it's kind of like a flashlight illuminating a new path. It has potholes, and you're still going to make mistakes, but it's this brand new thing, and it gets you to a better place, gets you to that place where you think you should be. Because if you went the other way, you'd be in the place that you think you should be, which is not the good place. So your brain has a lot of power. And these are basics. These are real basics. The world of brain, psychology, neuroscience has advanced a great deal since that time. But the basics are there, and we should know those basics. People who work in that field are very aware of the complications that we have in our brain. But sometimes you need to say the simple things for people to get it, because we're not all neuroscientists, we're not all doctors. So listen to that thought. You are what you think about. But you know, the other thing is we don't laugh or smile very much either. Not much lately. We're all stressed. We're worried about what's going to happen with the US and the government and some of the things we see we don't like, we're uncomfortable with, and we should be. So laughing and smiling is really important. So even though I think that stress and depression are contagious, and they are if you've ever hung around someone that's really depressed, but so is laughter. Laughter is really contagious. Who's laughed lately? It's not everybody. Really, come on. Who's laughed lately? Come on, think. Use that. Charles Dickens said, "There is nothing in the world so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor." Dickens said that. So, what are we going to do? Maybe we test that theory about laughing. I mean, if I started laughing right now, just on purpose, laughing, what would you do? Would you laugh? Would you feel sorry for me? Would you, would it be like, what is wrong with him? I can't believe he's up here. He's laughing. At what? But what if we just laughed at ourselves? Now, if I started laughing, are you just let me hang here and laugh, or would you join me in laughing to test the theory that laughter is contagious? We join. Would you join? Yeah. Yeah, you would? Okay, all right, hold on. Let me get a character here. Come on, those in the back, come on. All right, so, okay, look, we got into the laughter mode, and I'm very, very actually proud of all of you. But those of you who are laughing, we know who you are, okay? So I'm going to tell you a quick joke. And it's a very cerebral joke. It's about a cat and two dogs. And this cat, a Siamese cat, and two dogs, a German Shepherd and an Australian Shepherd, walks into a bar. And they sit at the bar and they order a shot of water. And, they started, talking. And the Australian Shepherd said, God told me that I'm the best protector of sheep on the planet. God has never seen anybody better than me. He's very proud. Everybody kind of, raised their glass to toast. And the other dog, the German Shepherd, said, well, God told me I am the best defender of my unbelievable master. And I was so proud of that. Everybody clinked. So they're waiting for the Siamese cat. Siamese cat takes a sip out of the glass and says, I never said that. All right. Laughter. It's great, isn't it? It's fantastic. Our gathering music this morning can be found in the Gray Hymnal, number 95. And Linda Delroy is going to be helping us this morning because she can sing and I can't. And so 95, right? She knows the words. I have no idea. Say again? Oh, sorry. I was just told you have to stand up for this and give it everything you got. You just laughed amazing. Your lungs are clear. Okay, so let's hear you sing, all right? Let's definitely hear you sing, because if you don't, your names will be counted as well. Hit it, Rick. Oh, you want to get through this?
I'm sure.
Why not?
Can you? Yeah, sort of. Are you supposed to click?
Words, I'm sure.
There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere.
And that was great, guys. Everybody have a seat. Take a breath. And we're going to do something called land acknowledgement, by the way. If you haven't been with us before, this is a wonderful thing to really talk about what's beneath us, the property that we have, what's the history. And April Starr is going to be helping us with this. So when we gather, we employ the elements of water and fire to create the sacred space where we can be fully present. We begin with an acknowledgement that our church is built on holy ground, land that was nurtured and cultivated by those who occupied it before us. And think of the generations and generations that occupied it before us. We offer this libation as our giveaway as we honor the struggle of all people seeking justice and peace. We seek the courage and wisdom to heal the wounds of the past and build a better future, a better story with all our neighbors and fellow creatures together. It is also our custom when we gather to light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or a vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. It's us. The flame represents the spark each one of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of our commitment to bring more compassion and justice to the world. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Each week, we bring our whole selves into this sacred time, our joys, our concerns, our sorrows. The table where we gather is right at the center. And it's a symbol for the community that is the heart of UU Amherst. It puts us together. I invite you to come forward. It doesn't have to be in a straight line. It could be running, skipping, chaotic. And place a stone or shell on the table labyrinth in recognition of all that you bring and all that you are. May we remember that we are called to heal and bring love to the broken places. If you find it really tough to do this, there's a smaller labyrinth in the back for those who find it tough to get up this way. So why don't you go ahead and come up? final stone in recognition of the joys, concerns, and sorrows of those who are participating online. You are embraced by this community for everything you are. Let's share a few breaths again. Take some deep breath. Yeah, just let it hang a little bit. Because it's so nice to breathe in. It's so nice to breathe out, which is really what that tune was. It was a song about meditation and breathing in and breathing out. So breathe in one more time, deep breath. So we've just had a few breaths to expand our circle, to include those who may not be present, but whom we carry in our hearts. It's a heavy load sometimes. We bring into our circle of love and care those who are ill, those who are in pain, either in body or in spirit, those who are lonely. And boy, that's all over the place, isn't it? That's why I'm so glad you're here. Those who are feeling lost. Those who are stressed. Boy, aren't too many of those out there, huh? I mean, the stress is all over the place. It's good to carry it, then expel it, let it go as much as you can. Those who have been wronged. And especially those in parts of the world that are having such an awful time in Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, Sudan, and other war-torn lands, which there are too many to mention. We are part of a web of life that makes us one with all humanity. Whether some people like it or not, we are all part of that web. We are grateful for the miracle of consciousness that we share, the consciousness that gives us the power to remember, to love, to care, and to laugh, which is nice to do sometimes. May it ever be so in our lives. Amen. Thanks, Rick. The Wonder Box. You think we should do that today? Are there any kids that maybe want to do that? Should we ask them to come up and maybe play? I think we should. I really do. And we have someone today who knows exactly what to do with the Wonder Box, and that's Kate Smidt. And a surprise guest, but not here. Just building up the suspense.
Hi there. Nope. Hello? Can you? Yes? Yes. Woo! All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me? All right. Well, guys, I'm so glad that you're here. And everybody, I'm glad you're here. We have a story today about a dragon. We have a story today about a dragon. What? What's so funny? Why is everybody laughing? What's going on? Oh my gosh, dragons, hi. It's so nice to see you today. Listen, I have a story about a dragon. Do you want to listen to it too? They do. Oh, good. Oh, very good. Okay, that's great. So our story today is called There's No Such Thing as a Dragon, and it's by Jack Kent. Billy Bixby was rather surprised when he woke up one morning and found a dragon in his room. It was a small dragon, about the size of a kitten. The dragon wagged its tail happily when Billy patted its head. Billy went downstairs to tell his mother. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said his mother, and she said it like she meant it. So just slow down on the slides a little bit. I've got them so I can move them. Billy went back to his room and began to dress. The dragon came close to Billy and wagged its tail. But Billy didn't pat it. If there's no such thing as something, it's silly to pat it on its head. Billy washed his face and hands and went down to breakfast. The dragon went along. It was bigger now, almost the size of a dog. Billy sat down at the table. The dragon sat down on the table. That sort of thing was not usually permitted. I know, that's exactly what I was thinking. That sort of thing was not usually permitted, but there wasn't much Billy's mother could do about it. She had already said there was no such thing as a dragon. And if there's no such thing, you can't very well tell it to get down off the table. Mother made some pancakes for Billy, but the dragon ate them all. Mother made some more, but the dragon ate those too. Mother kept making pancakes until she ran out of batter. Billy got only one of them, but he said that's all he really wanted anyway. Take a look. Does it look like Billy only wanted one, or does he want more pancakes? Yes, exactly. He did want more. Billy went upstairs to brush his teeth. Mother started clearing the table. The dragon, who was nearly as big as Mother by this time, made himself comfortable on the hall rug and went to sleep. By the time, no, it's funny, right? By the time Billy came back downstairs, the dragon had grown so much, he filled the hall. Billy had to go around by way of the living room to get to where his mother was. "I didn't know dragons grew so fast," said Billy. "There's no such thing as a dragon," said his mother. Cleaning the downstairs took Mother all morning, what with the dragon in the way, and having to climb in and out of windows to get from room to room. By noon, the dragon filled the house. Its head hung out the front door, its tail hung out the back door, and there wasn't a room in the house that didn't have some part of the dragon in it. Look at how big it got. Wow. I know. Okay, could I have the next slide? This one's not working right now. Thank you. When the dragon awoke from his nap, he was hungry. A bakery truck went by. The smell of fresh bread was more than the dragon could resist. The dragon ran down the street after the bakery truck. And the house went along, of course, like the shell on a snail. Can we go back one? Thank you. The mailman was just coming up the path with some mail for the Bixbys when their house rushed past him and ran down the street. He chased the Bixby's house for a few blocks, but he couldn't catch it. When Mr. Bixby got home for lunch, the first thing he noticed was that the house was gone. Luckily, one of the neighbors was able to tell him which way it went. Can you go back to? Two? Yeah. Mr. Bixby got into his car and went looking for the house. He studied all the houses as he drove along. I know, it's so funny. Finally, he saw one that looked familiar. Billy and Mrs. Bixby were waiting from an upstairs window. There he is. Mr. Bixby climbed over the dragon's head, onto the porch roof and through the upstairs window. How did this happen? Mr. Bixby asked. It was the dragon, Billy said. There's no such thing, Mother started to say. There is a dragon, Billy insisted. A very big dragon. And Billy patted the dragon on the head. The dragon waved its tail happily. Then, even faster than it had grown, the dragon started getting smaller. Soon it was kitten size again. Well, I don't mind dragons this size, said Mother. Why did it have to grow so big? I'm not sure, said Billy, but I think it just wanted to be noticed. Should we clap for the story? Let's clap for the story. Now, I have a question for you. The dragon got really big. It got really big. Why do you think it got so big? Do we know? It's hard to, yeah, what do you think?
Maybe because everybody wanted, maybe Bill wanted and his mother to see him, so he made him grow.
Oh.
So
Okay, so yeah, so absolutely. What Quinn said, I'd like to share. What Quinn said is, well, maybe he just wanted people to see him because Billy's mother couldn't see him, and so he got bigger so that she could see him. And I think that's right. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think so too. And so, Friends on the Rug, do you ever feel like you would like to be noticed sometimes? Yeah, we all feel like we want to be noticed sometimes. People feel that way too. And you know what else I think? I think that inside of us, we also have thoughts and feelings that want to be noticed sometimes. And sometimes they're happy thoughts, and those are easy to greet. But sometimes they're sad thoughts or upsetting thoughts or feelings. But you know what? They want to be noticed too. Because when they don't get noticed, they can grow really big. So it's a great idea, even if they're not the best thoughts or the happiest thoughts, just to say, I see you. And now we are going to send all of our friends off to faith development, all right? So we're going to sing you out. High five, good job. Good job, good job.
That was great, Kate. Thank you. Let's see now. I want to get to the point where all I have to do is think, like slide. I'd like to introduce Julie Marquis, dear friend of mine and our family, and she's going to be giving her thoughts on this really important topic of what's in our head. Julie.
Thank you, Charlie. And hello, everyone. It's always lovely to see all of you every Sunday. Since we're talking about brains and where they are and goodness knows what they put us through, in 1997, my brain and the rest of me were going through a pretty rough patch of depression. And though they literally weren't doing so, thank goodness, most days felt as though the walls around me were just closing in and getting near enough to suffocate me. On the worst days of it, if I looked to either side of me, I swear I could see them just moving in. So while waiting for the better living through chemistry medications to kick in, and I was so grateful for them because they really were a lifesaver for me at the time. Breathing exercises and meditations were very helpful tools. And during that particular time and over the years since, my mother had written down a Gaelic blessing / meditation for me to concentrate on when the walls were closing in. And she wrote it down for me, and it's something that has remained with me and something I've turned to when life, the world, the day, or even the minute sometimes seem to be too much. And if you want to take a deep breath and close your eyes while you listen to it, or look at the lovely Zen picture that's up on the screen. And the blessing is, deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the infinite peace to you. And breathe out. Today's reading is called Hopefulness in Bad Times and is taken from the book You Can't Be Neutral on a Moving Train by Howard Zinn. To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, kindness. What we choose to emphasize in this complex history will determine our lives. If we see only the worst, it destroys our capacity to do something. If we remember those times and places, and there are so many, where people have behaved magnificently, this gives us the energy to act, and at least the possibility of sending this spinning top of a world in a different direction. And if we do act, in however small a way, we don't have to wait for some grand utopian future. The future is an infinite succession of present. And to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, is itself a marvelous victory.
Thanks, How y'all doing, all right? So I'm going to be introducing someone who is also relatively new to this congregation, and she's a pretty unique individual. Her name is Dr. Brianna Migliore. We call her Brianna. And she's a neuroscientist, a writer, and a mom of 2 young daughters And I'm sure if you've been coming here, you've seen her and probably know her. She earned a PhD in neuroscience, studying the brain circuits involved in reward and addiction. Today, she brings that scientific grounding together with her lived experience as a parent, educator, and activist, navigating the realities of modern overwhelm. She publishes reflections on her Substack, Dysregulation Nation, and is currently writing a book about how human connection regulates our nervous systems and how that regulation can heal individuals, sustain movements, and protect democracy. I'd like to welcome Brianna to give her talk, and please give her a welcome.
All right. Okay, can everyone hear me okay? Yes, okay, perfect. All right, well, when Charlie first invited me to speak today about mental health, the neuroscientist in me immediately thought about fancy brain diagrams and things like how our stress hormones influence our thoughts and behaviors. But none of us came here today for a neuroscience lecture. We came here for some perspective, grounding, and maybe even a little hope. So instead, what I want to share today is a little bit about what I think our nervous systems are up against today, and how I believe that communities like this one here at UU Amherst are the very medicine that our nervous systems need right now. So our nervous systems are ancient. They were shaped tens of thousands of years ago to keep us alive in small groups. They were designed to notice a rustle in the grass. Could that be a predator? They were designed to read the mood of a handful of our neighbors. Is my group safe or not? They were designed to tell us when to fight, when to flee, and when to rest. And that system worked beautifully back when we lived in small villages. But today, our brains are asked to process headlines from every corner of the world. It's a constant scroll of cruelty, chaos, and crises, one after another after another. We're exposed to daily wars we cannot stop. We're exposed to disasters we cannot prevent. And we're exposed to cruelty we cannot comprehend. Our brains were not wired for this much information. It's like standing in a hailstorm with no shelter. Each headline, another stone against our skin. No wonder so many of us are feeling so overwhelmed right now. For me, this overwhelm comes most often at night when I'm lying in bed next to my youngest daughter, my beautifully chubby and healthy baby girl. A baby who is so chubby that when I give her a bath at night, I actually have to separate each little fold on her arms and legs in order to get her clean. And while I'm lying next to her in bed, I'll pull out my little sadness machine, my cell phone, and I'll see images of babies halfway around the world who are so thin, you can count every single one of their tiny little ribs. Babies who haven't had a meal in days. Mothers whose bodies are so nutritionally deprived that they no longer produce milk. My nervous system cannot take those two realities. The perfect roundness of the baby in my bed, alongside the pain and needless suffering of babies around the world, including those in our own country. And I imagine all of you have your own versions of that feeling. whether it's sitting down to a warm meal and seeing news of famine, or watching your kids or grandchildren play and hearing about yet another school shooting, or lying awake at night reading about new threats to our democracy and feeling the fear of what authoritarianism might mean for our children and our grandchildren's future. It's too much for one body to hold. And I want to be honest about another layer of this overwhelm, at least for me. It's the guilt that comes with living in privilege. The guilt of having moments of joy, rest, and safety while the world is on fire. Like when I'm laughing with my kids in the backyard, knowing no one will come pounding on our door to take us away. Or when I'm kissing them goodnight without the fear that their skin color might make them a target. In these moments, a little voice rises in the back of my head and hisses, "How dare you laugh when families are being torn apart? How dare you rest when others lie awake, fearing for their children's safety? Why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you giving more? Why aren't you trying harder?" And maybe you all have heard that voice too. But what I'm learning slowly and imperfectly is that joy is not betrayal. Rest is not betrayal. They are medicine. They are what allow us to keep showing up with compassion instead of collapsing under the weight of despair. In a world on fire, it doesn't help anyone to douse ourselves in gasoline just to prove that we care. We need to keep ourselves grounded and steady enough to hold the fire hose. So here's where I want to slip in a bit of science. If you've been feeling anxious or overwhelmed or depressed or exhausted lately, that means your nervous system is working exactly the way it's intended to work. When our nervous systems sense threat, they sound the alarm. Chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol flood through our bodies and prepare us to fight or flee. It's a useful system if the threat is a tiger on the path in front of us. But when the tiger is thousands of miles away and the threat never ends, our alarm system gets stuck in the on position. And after a while, that wears us down. We start to live in a constant state of tension, and that's what so many of us are experiencing lately. And this is where I believe that communities like this one are so important, because we were never meant to carry the weight of the world, and we certainly weren't meant to do it alone. We were meant to support each other and to support each other's nervous systems. And there's actually a word for this sort of mutual support in neuroscience. It's called co-regulation. And if any of you have ever spent time around a toddler, you may have experienced the power of co-regulation firsthand. Actually, Les, could we just go back to that previous slide? Thank you. When a toddler is having a full-blown meltdown, their nervous system has gone completely haywire. The emotional parts of the brain, like the amygdala, have taken the reins from the logical parts, and the result is often a very loud and very dramatic display of behavior. But when an adult steps in, something remarkable can happen. If they scoop that toddler up, take slow breaths, speak calmly, and let them know that they are safe and they are loved, gradually their nervous system starts to settle. Their emotions quiet, and the logical thinking parts of their brain can come back online. And then you can explain to them why they still can't have that cookie before dinner. Now, I'm not saying that all of you are acting like tantruming toddlers, but the principle is the same for adults. Our nervous systems need each other. They need to co-regulate. For a long time, I couldn't quite put my finger on why I enjoy coming here so much every Sunday. What is it that keeps me coming here when I could be doing 100 other things? Then it dawned on me. It's co-regulation. All week long, I move through the world with my nervous system on fire. Then I walk through these doors, and it's like the example of the parent hugging their tantruming toddler. Little by little, the flame goes out. When we gather here each week, we breathe together, we sing together, we share presence together, and in doing so, we co-regulate. This congregation and this community is one of the best examples I know of the power of co-regulation in action. We're not just gathering, we're not just singing, we're not just drinking coffee later and chatting with each other. We're actively influencing and regulating each other's nervous systems. And there's something even more amazing about this. The more often we engage in co-regulation, the more our brains actually change. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself in response to experience. When we regularly engage in co-regulation, breathing together, singing together, supporting each other, we're not only calming our bodies in the moment, we're training our brains for the long haul. The logical reasoning parts of our brain become better at overriding the emotional alarm system when threats arise. Over time, our nervous systems learn, I know how to come back to steadiness. I've practiced this. I don't have to stay stuck in alarm mode. So the simple, ordinary act of showing up here each week isn't just comfort in the moment. It's long-term resilience. It's literally reshaping our brains toward calm, compassion, and connection. So right now, I want to try something simple together. Let's just take one slow breath in and then let it out. But when you let it out, I want you to let it out a little bit more slowly than you inhaled. Let's do that now. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to talk directly to your nervous system, out loud. And what we're going to say is, you are not in danger. But when you say it, I want you to speak as kindly and as gently as you would to a toddler. And if that little voice pops up in the back of your mind and says, that's easy for you to say, what about all the people that actually are in danger right now? I want you to tell that voice, kindly and gently, yes, the world is on fire. But if I'm on fire too, I can't hold the hose. So again, we're going to say out loud, you are not in danger. Let's do that now. You are not in danger. That's a small nervous system reset, a simple moment to remind our bodies that here, together, in this space, we are safe. In closing, I want to leave you with this. Our nervous systems may not have been wired for the world that we live in today, but we are not powerless. Through community, connection, and co-regulation, we can reshape our brains for resilience. And it doesn't stop at these walls. The steadiness we find here and the way that we co-regulate with each other is something that we can carry back into a hurting world. When we show up calm and grounded, we become a presence of safety for others. We become the neighbor who can listen without judgment, the friend who can soothe anxiety, the advocate who can stand strong against injustice without burning out. This, too, is co-regulation, not only among ourselves, but as an act of justice and care beyond these doors. And that, I believe, is how we keep our mental health intact in this modern world, by co-regulating with one another here, and then carrying that steadiness out into a world that so desperately needs it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna. By the way, it's almost 11:30. I'll try to get you out of here as soon as I can. But they're paying me till 1, so. Making time for an offering of gifts and pledges is an act of faith and an opportunity for us to live into one of the core values of Unitarian Universalism, generosity. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. You'll be passing some baskets around, and we appreciate your generosity. While we're doing that, a couple of announcements. Peggy, are you out there? Oh, there you are. Come on up. Reminds me of The Price is Right. Come on up. Yeah, of course.
Hi there. Can you all hear me? Yeah? Okay. Most of you know me. I'm Mark Peggy, and I am the leader of our Justice Advocacy team. And in cooperation with HBS, who are our renters upstairs, and the Green Living team, we want to invite you all to share tomorrow with us as Indigenous Peoples Day. We recognize every time we gather together that we are on land that belonged to other people. And as a way to honor Indigenous Peoples Day, we're bringing to you a film called The Eternal Song. We're showing it twice, 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. It is a cinematic presentation of how colonization has injured the indigenous peoples as well as the land, and pathways that ancestors have taken for healing. I can't think of a better way to celebrate the day than honoring our indigenous people. And the part that I really need to press here is that this is a fundraiser. 45% of the proceeds that we raise will go back to the indigenous people who participated in this filming. So please, 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 if you've got nothing going on tomorrow, come and watch the movies with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Peggy. One more announcement. Saturday, the 18th, this coming Saturday, we have a memorial service for Henny Martin. And he just lost his wife a few months ago as well. So he was a wonderful guy. And that's next Saturday right here, a memorial at 4 p.m. next Saturday. I forgot to put that in the announcements. We began our service with the lighting of our chalice, a symbolic act to remind us that each of us is a spark that creates the flame each one of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of our commitment. We extinguish this chalice not to quench the flame, but to return it to individual hearts, strengthened by this time together, so that we can share our light in the world. Please join me as we extinguish our combined flame and accept the renewed flame in our own heart, that each one of us might bring more light and love to a dark and hurting world. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. You'll find lots of opportunities for growth and service in your order of service, if you've picked up one of these. You're invited to stay for coffee. It's in the room in the back. Please join us. It's actually a lot of fun. The coffee's great, and sometimes there are some snacks. I'm going to say something as quick as I can because it's important. And, we just spent this time together in this life of the community. And speaking of the life of the congregation, and as a junior member of the Board of Trustees, I have learned about the needs of supporting a growing and dynamic mission like this one, and it is really dynamic. We are an activist group of people, and that comes with real cost. And so raising funds become really important. But these days, money doesn't go so far, and often there's more month at the end of the money. We all kind of know what that's like, I think, at least most of us do. So I'd like to suggest something. What we are doing in this pledge drive is we are building a metaphorical barn, a barn. And we need a barn raising. At a barn raising, everyone in the community comes with what skills and resources they have to build the barn. Some can build the roof, some cook the meals, and some sing for the workers. That's what I do. And because I don't know the right end of holding a hammer, but everybody pitches in. And so that when the barn is built, it helps everyone in their community. It sustains hope, confidence, comfort, and a social togetherness that makes us a lot stronger than just one or two of us. And it probably helps co-regulate as well when we do these things together. Everyone gains. In our community, we need a barn built to support those who are threatened, create a voice for people who need help, and sustain a place where we have friends who need human support. And for ourselves. When I joined this place less than 3 years ago, after wandering in a spiritual desert for decades, it helped me with purpose and community. And I made new friends that I am so thankful for today. Think about helping build this barn. Find a way to help. Invite others to come and help too. Your monetary pledge is really important. And if you can't right now, then help with our work here. And if you can't do that, please let us know how we can help you with your own barn raising, because we all have one to build. Now, please rise and body your spirit as we sing our closing blessing. Please remain standing afterward for the benediction. Everybody turn around to each other. We're only 10 minutes late. That's not bad. This is the benediction. This is it, folks. This was written by Reverend Cynthia Landrum. It's only 10 pages long, but we'll get there. Be true, be well, and be loving. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Until we are together again, friends, be strong, be well, be true, be loving. Stay happy, healthy, and one more thing, Go Bills.